Caltrop is an area denial weapon designed to stop the enemy. The Caltrop is a sturdy, simple, yet effective weapon no matter its position. Its purpose was originally designed to stop elephant and donkey attacks. It graduated to stopping tanks. And now, the Caltrop is your defense against propaganda, polished lies, and manufactured outrage. It's free from counterfeit credibility and synthetic truth. However, inside the walls of the Caltrop, you're going to be forced to think. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop.
Coming down the mountain from the heaven to the hell, the Mike Calderese, the Caltrop, he never stops, so ring the bell. He bring the facts, he's been up every morning till we sleep. He get it deep, Mike Calderese, in your head and in your sheets. And we don't mind, and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop. And we don't mind, and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop. And we don't mind, and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop.
Good evening and welcome to the Caltrop. I am your host, Michael Calderese, this late night edition. And listen, it's 10:30 at night, Friday night. Sometimes I like doing the late night Fridays. But you know, it's been one of those weeks. We had a snowstorm. I missed shows all week. And then today, I'm still trying to process what actually took place today. I'm still trying to process it. I apologize for coming on late today. But I had a YouTuber with over 9 million subscribers get in touch with me about the situation that's going on in Lakewood, New Jersey. And today he reached out and said, yo, we're in town. You want to record with us all day? You want to be my tour guide, so to speak. So the last 2 days I had were completely entrenched with I'm going to call it Jew politics. All right, I was surrounded by Jews for the last 2 days. So today and last night, you guys, many of you know that I'm involved locally, and I have a situation going on in Manchester with the Jewish population. So we had another hearing in Manchester. That was interesting. And then we were out with Tyler Oliveria. So today on the show, and we have a new guest that's coming on the show. His name is Rick. It's Rickpedia. I really like talking to this dude. He's going to be like our conspiracy corner guy, bro. I love where his mind's at. We had one conversation. I love where his mind's at. So we have a great show for you planned tonight. I honestly don't even know what I'm going to say. I can't even process what's in my head, but I know I'm right. So let's start the show off. The mic's right. Shut the fuck up and listen. All right. It's settled. The Jews do not want to live with us and coexist with us. You know, for fucking 2 straight nights now, for a night and a day, I've been inundated with people. And listen, you know, there's 2 different versions of the group of people that I'm dealing with in my area. And I apologize if I'm thinking about this a lot, but I really don't know how to process in my head what I witnessed from Thursday night to all day today. I don't know how to process it, honestly, fully. But I can tell you this. I live down south. And down south, they had that bless your heart type saying. And one of the things you learned about people down south is they were really nice to your face, but they also talked a lot of shit behind your back. They were the biggest fucking shit talkers. Non-stop shit talking you, motherfucking you. but to your face, they were very nice. And starting off on Thursday night, I went to this meeting, and it's awkward being a new known commodity. I've never been known to people. I've never been recognized in public like that. And to be recognized, it's interesting. To walk places and hear, like, in the background, there he is. It's fucking badass. I'm not going to, it pumped my head up a little larger. I didn't think my head could get any bigger, but it did. But, it's interesting watching it and then seeing everybody coming up to me from both sides, non-Jewish, Jewish, and they're obviously in this heated battle over this zoning law, the zoning dispute. And on one side, you have a group of people saying, just follow the rules. On the other side, you have a group of people really saying, fuck your rules. If you don't approve this, we're just going to sue the fuck out of you, thus proving why they're, it's a very interesting situation. But I say all that to get back to the Southern stuff, because everybody there was very nice to me. Even the Jewish people, they all came up, they complimented me. They were telling me how I need to run for office and how I'm well-spoken and all this stuff. And it was almost like they had me convinced that they actually liked me. Now, I'm not just going to say they don't, but I'm going to tell you one part about my situation today that was interesting, because I got the feeling like that whole meeting, what they were saying was, we want to be a part of the community. We want to be a part of the community. And what you notice is they really don't. They want to act like they're part of the community, but they want to be their own separate community that acts differently from everybody else. If you notice this, everyone's focused on Minnesota, but these religions, they have a way of manipulating these laws, and this is what they did. So last night at the meeting, at one point, one of the rabbis was speaking, and the rabbi said these words. Listen, we tried doing everything right. This is an incredible expense to us. We jumped through all of your little fucking hoops. We're trying to be part of the community. We're trying to do this. And then this guy looks at the board and says, but I'm going to tell you something. The law's on our side. So if you don't approve this, we're going to sue the fuck out of you. And he didn't say it in those words. I'm ad-libbing, obviously. We're going to sue you, and then you are going to spend all this money fighting us. It's going to waste those tax dollars, and we're going to win in the end. And one dude got up and lost his shit. That's fucking blackmail. And he had every right. I did a video on that yesterday. But what he was saying was, we're only acting like we're trying to be part of your community. And we're acting like that just to appease you fucking people. And that's the impression I got. So fast forward to today, I have Tyler Oliveria gets in touch with me. I don't know if you know who that is. Our guest does. I see him smiling in the back, right? Dude's got 9 million subscriptions on YouTube. He's got a big following everywhere. Small videos of his do 3.5 million views. He's a controversial figure. He's taken on, he's gone to Tokyo and been attacked by like black people in Tokyo that were like street fucking hustlers. He was really exposing this stuff before Nick Shirley was, as far as he talked about the Somali immigration stuff. He did a show on on the Jews up in New York. I can't think of the name. It's been a very long day. But this dude, he's done a lot of stuff. And to see like these kids, we're sitting in the McDonald's today, and this one kid looked at him, and you see him like eyeing him the fuck up, like, is this? And you see the kid look, is this motherfucking Tyler? Yo, are you fucking Tyler Oliveria? Holy shit. And the kid geeked the fuck out. I've been watching you since I was 9 years old. I can't believe this. They're taking selfies. So these kids from Jackson lost their shit. They saw a legit fucking celebrity. They act like I would act like if I saw Mel Gibson back in the day. I don't even know why I said Mel Gibson, because I never really liked his ass, but still, until now I like Crazy Mel. Crazy Harry Mel is way better than Lethal Weapon Mel Gibson, but I digress. But listen, so the community, I could tell you this, heard that Tyler was coming for 2 weeks. And these people were on high alert. When I tell you high alert, we had people filming us everywhere we went with their own cameras. We were on the FAA local news. It's like a local news station in our area. Immediately, they were getting like live doxxed. They had people following us. We had the cops called 3 fucking times. And the dude is fair. The guy he was honestly there to learn and talk. Hey, let's have a conversation. And the response we got, I got to be honest with you, I cannot wait for you to watch this. I cannot wait for you to watch this. Because it's the response we got where we were not welcome. We are not going to talk to you. And if you did talk to him, wait till you see the whisper guy. Wait till you see the whisper guy in his videos. People will be talking in some fucking Yiddish, and all of a sudden these people turn into drones where it's like this, I cannot talk to you no longer. And they just left. It was the craziest shit I've ever witnessed in my life. And I can't even tell you all of the details. I don't want to ruin this. I'm giving you little nuggets. But it was amazing to watch me tell him what this was like. Because we were in the car driving into Lakewood. And I'm explaining to them what their experience is going to be. Like, this is what you're going to see. Like, we're going to drive into Lakewood. And I'm telling you, you're going to see accidents. You're going to see this. You're going to see that. Oh, it's going to be fucking mayhem, chaos, traffic. And it was so verbatim of what I said to him early on. I can't even express to you the joy that I felt as all of my predictions of what we were going to see came true. One after the other, after the other, after the other. From the Jewish police force to the Jewish ambulance service to accidents. I mean, our day was so full of righteousness. I can't even explain it to you, but the only thing that's in my head right now is they made it very clear. And when I say there's a difference, I think, between the younger group and the older group. There were some people that were like, yo, this is fucking Tyler. Some people were legit excited to see him out of the Jewish population. And then you had the older groups and the rabbis. One rabbi in particular told us that we were flat out not welcome, and they showed us that we were not welcome. Dude, I wish I could get into more. I wish I could get into the details of this. Wait till he puts this video out. Tyler Oliveria, follow his YouTube page and check out some of his content, because let me tell you something. If anybody's going to do a story on Lakewood, I am so glad it's this guy, because he's fair. I think he's honest, and I think he wants the truth out there. And the fucking dude is fearless. These guys are fucking fearless. They did shit that I would never dream of even thinking about having a nightmare to do. Like, the things that they said, these kids are just, they got balls. They don't give a fuck. This is a 26-year-old kid that's been called a racist his whole fucking life and blamed for everybody else's shit, and he's tired of it. And I don't want to speak for him, but that's what it seems like. It seems like they don't give a fuck about the names they're being called, and they got the balls to just say, yeah, I'm going to walk into this place. Yeah, I'm going to walk into this place. Hey, what do you think here? Hey, what do you think here? And just the outright moxie is something that's so fucking impressive. But I have spoken enough. I went a little bit overboard with that. Let's bring in our guest, because I know he probably has some questions on this. My man, Rick. Rickopedia. I just met Rick through a mutual friend. What's up, bro? Welcome to the Couch Rock.
Dude, thanks for having me. I can only imagine how you had to the pictures you had in your mind of trying to set up Oliveria and his team for what they were going to experience in Lakewood. I've been going down that area since I was a kid. I used to do like wrestling states down there, and it's really it really is like another world over there.
It's a totally different world, right? So it's interesting, bro, because when you have that, you know, it's I don't get nervous. I'm not a nervous type of dude, but I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what he wanted to do. Like, we were going in a lot of different directions, and you know, Lakewood, you could go in a lot of different directions. You know, there's everywhere you turn, you're going to uncover some level of just absolute horseshit. You know, but I knew Lakewood was going to deliver itself. I think I was trying to overplan. You know, you just have to let Lakewood happen, bro, because Lakewood's going to go full Lakewood. It's going to go full fucking Lakewood. There's nothing you can do to stop it, right? You're going to see some shit on a Friday in Lakewood, New Jersey. And I just had to trust the process, my man. I just had to trust that they were going to deliver for me. And they, boy, did they ever. Boy, did they fucking ever. But
good. Can't wait to see the content. You said it's going to be a video on his YouTube channel.
It's going to be on his YouTube channel. I don't think it's probably going to come out for a month, honestly, dude. Like, the footage alone. So what's so badass about him is he has 2 360 cameras that they bought. Okay, so when he holds his stick out, he has like a backpack with a camera that it looks kind of something like this, right? 360 camera top and bottom, so it gets fucking everything just standing there. Then he has a 360 camera front and back on the pole, so it is getting every fucking thing. Everybody around there is getting filmed. Everybody. So in order to put that type of footage together, that's a lot to go through and a lot to take in, a lot to put together. And bro, when I tell you, we were rolling in the car, we were talking in the car, he's asking questions. We talked. I must have talked for, I don't know, fucking 3.5, 4 hours today on his film, on his cameras. We were walking around, taking tours. Mike, tell me about this place. Tell me about this place. And I was like his fucking tour guide. Yeah, it was.
And that's just today. You were there for what, last night too, and all day. And
no, so last night was a different one. I thought they were actually going to come to last night, but they were doing other stuff, other recordings. But last night was something that I kind of fell into. Was this? They're trying the Jewish population trying to build a mikveh. It's like a commercial bathhouse for women. After it's like a ritual thing that they have to do, but under the guise of a 501c3. So they bought a residential house and they're trying to turn it into this community mikveh. And it's like, you know, the majority of people that live there aren't Jewish. And they're trying to talk about it was for the common good. But it's all related to the same exact topic, right? Because what he did was he showed a lot of the problems with what happens in Lakewood. I mean, it was put on full fucking blast. The problems, the secrecy, the traffic, the sheer amount of people, the fucking density of it. He put on full blast the problem. And Manchester is fighting that, right? People in Manchester are like, we do not want Lakewood. And Lakewood's forcing itself into Manchester. It's forcing itself into Jackson. It's forcing itself
Tom's River.
Into Tom's River and Howell. Yeah, dude. So it's a representation of what we kind of saw today and what everyone in this area is saying. Yo, stop. Fucking keep that shit in Lakewood. Do not come into everywhere else. And it's growing into everywhere else. And I made one other quick point, and then we can get into it, whatever conspiracies you want. But I told Tyler, like, you know, living in Ocean County, New Jersey, I fully understand what the Palestinians are fighting against. I understand the Gaza Strip argument. I understand what Libya and Syria are saying about Israel, that they want to take parts of their land, that they want to expand. I understand what the Palestinians are saying because I'm living it. This is like the Gaza Strip of the fucking Jersey Shore. It's the craziest thing where you have one group of people that could completely take over an entire town, and then they're taking over another town, neighborhood by neighborhood by neighborhood, and it's fucking insane that it's allowed to take place.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I see it where I live right now. It's there's almost this whole street near one of the high schools in Tom's River that every day I see more and more of those strange looking bird's nest hats walking around, and I don't know. I have to kind of take myself aback and be like, okay, this is I live here. I'm still here, and just kind of continue on.
So let's
But
do this. Let's do this. Conspiracies. Let's get into some conspiracies, because one of the things I liked about what Tyler was doing is he was asking some myth questions to these people, like, "Hey, do you want to break any myths or whatever?" But one of the conspiracies that you just brought up earlier was that Trump is controlled by Israel. Now, I will tell you that probably 97% of the Jewish people that we were talking to were Trump fans. They 100% voted for Trump en masse. So, dude, what's your case, Mr. Rickpedia conspiracy guy? Come on, you're my conspiracy corner guy. What do you got to say about it?
I gotta say, I mean, I'll just start with Trump as a whole. I feel like he's just kind of like a Trojan horse for this like New World Order beast system. I feel like he's bringing in this technocracy, and he masqueraded as a savior to so many people. And it was you heard this America First push, and people get MAGA, make America great, all these things for America. But then you see the staff that he chose, and you see where the money, our tax money, gets allocated. And I feel like we are in the United States of Israel. I do truly believe that. Now, just recently, literally today on my Twitter feed, I was seeing some posts about how the DOJ is trying to scrub this information. Not only are they trying to scrub like Epstein stuff, but linking Trump on how he's compromised by Israel. My whole thing, I voted for Trump this year. I haven't voted since I voted in 2008 when I turned 18, just because just to do it. I never really thought that my vote mattered too much, but this year I felt like I had to get that guy in. I really jumped on the Trump train for a while, and one of the reasons why I voted for him was because I wanted the Epstein list and everything to come to light. I wanted these crazy rich assholes to be exposed for the crimes, unspeakable crimes that have been committed, and now it doesn't exist. We're told it's not even tonight. Like, don't pay attention to that. And it ties in because if now it's become a more mainstream, if there's been some leaks where Trump is compromised by Israel, well, to what capacity? How? It's got to be the whole blackmail ring thing in my mind. And
well, it's blackmail or money. I think it's more money, right? Because I mean, put it this way: even in Lakewood, New Jersey, they have a guy. What's his name? It's fucking Richard Roberts, right? It's a huge fucking donor to Donald Trump. He is a Lakewood billionaire. He's got incredible influence over Lakewood, but he's got incredible influence to where he could call the fucking DOJ and have the DOJ do an investigation like he did in Jackson, New Jersey. That all came from powerful people. Now, that dude independently, I think, gave Trump like $1 million donation, but apparently he's responsible for over $200 million going to Trump, right? In just different ways of getting people to give Trump money. That's the rumor on that guy. So if you have a community that is giving you 200, 300, 400 million to satisfy what your goals are, because let's face facts, Trump needed money this time around in order to pull off what he had to pull off, right? But when someone gives you $300 million, dude, I don't give a shit. You're indebted to them in some way, some form, some fucking how. And then, Trump, with his ties to his son-in-law, dude, he's got a lot of ties to Israel.
Yeah. In some of the posts that I read on my X feed today, it did talk about how Jared Kushner is actually the one that's pulling the strings of the Trump team. Who knows who the true hidden hand is? But what you just said, my friend, hits the nail on the head as it pertains to my conspiracy theory outlook on this whole thing. Because when you follow the money, questions get answered. And my whole stance, the whole reason why I want to try to launch a YouTube channel and try to expose some information is because when I have followed the money, some of the researchers, conspiracy theorists, but I call them critical researchers who I follow. That's what they do. I forget his last name, Ian something, Ian Carroll. Ian Carroll does a great job at breaking down what he's researching, the companies he's researching, who the CEOs and founders of the companies are tied to, where they worked before. And I mean, I know this is going to sound, the Jews have way too much control over things. It's crazy. And where I see that is, I look at things from more of a spiritual perspective, like as above, so below, and what's happening here with us has, a place in an unseen realm. I believe it's like a spiritual war that's raging right now. And when you follow the money, if I'm saying, Jews have a lot of power and influence, I believe that they are the chosen ones of the adversary, not of God, of the fallen God, of Satan, the synagogue of Satan, which is written in the Bible. But so my stance is that we have, you and me, people, ordinary people, we have all these powerful abilities, and which are being hidden from us and quelled in our subconscious systems by those who control our money, our media, and other things that really have an influence over our day-to-day life. And if you look at the CEOs of a lot of the most powerful, influential companies and banks in the world, they all have something in common. That Star of David keeps popping up over and over. So
Have you ever seen that one comedian? He did the one video where he's like, "Hi, my name is this. I'm the guy that likes to count how many Jews there are in things."
Yeah.
And some people like hobbies like that. I like counting Jews, and but he's the one that puts those videos together where it's like CEO for this, Jew, CEO for that, and he goes through all the people in the high level positions that, listen, they do have a lot of influence. And just again, take the town that I have today and now extrapolate that to bigger things. They took over an entire town. I mean, it's a legit theocracy at that point. Everything's going to be closed tomorrow because it's all Jewish owned, right? So grocery stores, and this is the crazy part about like what it is. They have the power to buy a grocery store that used to be a Stop and Shop in a town next to them. This is Jackson now. This is how it's spreading, and this is how it spreads. They take that town, or they take that grocery store, and they turn it into one of their grocery stores. I can't remember the name of it right now. But of course, it's Friday night, 6:30, and it's closed. And it's going to be closed all day tomorrow. So now if you live in that area and you used to go to that Stop and Shop, you cannot shop for food on a Saturday. So now what's happening? You are now forced into their religion. You have to observe their religion because that's where you could shop now. And it's only geared for them. And that's the problem. And so when you start talking control, they could do that throughout an entire town and force that on other towns. And you don't think they could force that on the president? Of course they can. I think Bibi Netanyahu has more power than probably anybody in our government. If you understand what I just said.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. And that's why I alluded to before, I feel like I'm in the United States of Israel. I when I was younger, I used to be one of these guys who would join protests and speak out about things I didn't think were going so smoothly. And then living in another country, which happened to be a communist country for a few years, that did change my perspective. It made me appreciate the things that we have here more. But now I feel like I gotta speak out and start fighting for it, because I just where the younger generations are heading, where the country's heading. If we the people don't step up, rise up, wake up, whatever you want to call it, it's pretty bleak. We're never going to be like my situation in living in the south of Vietnam. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just worried. I'm worried for my daughter and our future as Americans.
Do you know we need? I'm gonna be very honest with everybody right now. One of the Jews that I was talking to yesterday said, "You guys don't have a shared sense of purpose." And that line kind of stuck into my head when he said that. And it meant something to me, because say what you want about that like community. they definitely use the hardships that they have faced as a community to build a strong solitary unit. Okay, and everybody pulls in the exact same direction, and they are actually a community. They actually do somewhat help their poor people. I'm not saying they're great at it. Okay, but there's certain things that I think there's a form of indentured servitude there. I think there's a lot of filth, but they are a tight knit, super tight community. And I think the only thing that's actually going to help America is if you had tight communities locally that got rid of the R and got rid of the D and just understood that it was people. You have to have a group of people pulling in the same direction, and you need that shared sense of meaning and shared sense of purpose and shared sense of direction. And Americans don't have that, dude. Americans are fighting polar opposites, left and right, black and white, masked, unmasked. We're fighting complete and total opposites that can never fucking join each other. It's antimatter that we're fighting against. And when you have people that are fighting antimatter versus people that will vote to create the antimatter, you're in a very weird, tough position as Americans. And the only thing that's going to fight back against that is being American, being a solitary American mass of people, not black, not white, not fucking Mexican anymore. It's a fucking American. And I think we have to change the way our thinking. We definitely need to have a little, I'm all about independence, but we definitely need to be pulling in the same direction as a group of people with a shared sense of purpose. What's your thoughts on that?
Dude, absolutely. I've been jokingly saying United States, the land of the fees, the home of the slave. We are more like the divided states, man. We are so almost hopelessly divided and conquered. It's the the emotional strings of people are so easily plucked by these narratives, these stories that they're given. And while normal people are bickering over bullshit, they fail to realize that we stand on the common ground of we're all getting fucked in slightly different ways. And you may care about this issue more than I care about that, or whatever it may be. But instead of trying to find this common ground, these things that we can relate to each other, they grab the stories that are given to them from the news, from social media, and they just go at it. And to a point where it's like we have the freedom of speech, but people will just cancel you or just block you. Or I'm not even friends, family, neighbors, coworkers. I've seen people. Literally, I've lost people in my family just for me bringing up a topic of conversation. I've had coworkers, I've seen people quit the job because they're upset about that someone has some opinion. When the whole Charlie Kirk thing happened, when he got assassinated, there was some woman that was so heated about it that she literally quit. So it's like if our emotions are so fragile that we can't focus on the bigger picture for us, then you're right. It's never going to get better. You know,
you know what the bottom line is? You have to have people that want to live together. And we had this multiculturalism thing, and we have El Shem in the chat. El Shem, Big Mike, love you, buddy, said, yes, stop following parties and start addressing issues. And it was called Gourmet Glot. Yes, Gourmet Glot, 100%, El Shem. He is actually running for mayor of Jackson. He's a great candidate in the mayor of Jackson. He's one of my buddy Chris Pollock's, who was Chris Pollock's campaign manager. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to thread the needle with these two communities. And I think the needle has to be thread, because what has to stop is the tribalistic behavior. Okay. And I love the idea that there's a very tight, hard-knit community, but there has to be some give and respect for everybody else. There has to be a way where people can coexist, even if your God doesn't say you should. And I'm not saying I said that wrong. I don't think people will give up anything their God says for someone like me. But I have to acquiesce to their God. And I think that has to be addressed in a meaningful way if people are ever going to come together. And what I truly want to see, dude, in our area, and I mean this for all of the areas that we see that's going on, because I have a big problem with the Somalians in Minnesota. I have a big problem with what's going on with the Punjabis in fucking California, and there's different groups going in everywhere else. And you have these little groups that are popping up. We have Muslims in Paterson, New Jersey. We have Jews in Lakewood, New Jersey. And the last thing I want to start seeing are the Holy Crusades in America. And I feel like those are coming. I feel like we're headed towards Biblistic fucking holy war in our own country. And it's going to be fun. Our country's going to turn into a fight for religion. And it's not going to be fighting for freedom or any of that stuff anymore. It's going to be what religion is going to come out on top. And, you know, when you have one religion where people say, well, these fuckers are in control. Well, what's that going to bring? That's going to bring the Nick Fuentes of the world that's trying to do the same thing with Christians. And you know what I'm talking about? And then what do you have? Now you have them, and now people are fighting fucking crusades, and it's happening inside America. So ultimately, I love to see if people could get along. And I don't know if I discovered that today, bro. I think I discovered today that they don't want to be a part of us, that I'm not welcome. And it was one of the things that I think I'm still trying to work out in my head, because here I am, I'm trying to really build a bridge with people. Now, I'm hard-headed, but I am trying to understand. I'm trying to say, how can we live together? How can we have an understanding? Can we have an understanding? And I'm not sure after what I witnessed today that we can. Like, what does that mean to you?
I take your word for it more than others, because I've seen, you know, you put yourself on the front lines of these local governments. You're not scared to get up there and state your piece, peacefully state your piece. So it's tough to unite people in, you know, in our melting pot country where everyone has all their own religions and social beliefs and everything like that. So it is definitely an uphill battle. I don't think it's impossible. The only way for that to happen, the only two ways I can think of: one, if everybody, no matter what race, religion you are, if everyone can get pissed off together at the same thing at the same time, that would help, because that's how this country was founded, if you think about it. Granted, it was really only one religion. I believe that everyone was pretty much like Catholic or Protestant or whatever it may be. But
well, that happened after 9/11, right? After 9/11, you watched the country come together for like a week and a half and a day. You know, and then it was like, all right, fuck you, racist. Let's get back to hating each other. It's way better.
I'm going all the way back. I'm saying literally like 1776 type shit. Like we literally were pissed about getting taxed a certain amount, and everyone was like, all right, fuck this. Let's make a militia. We're fighting back. And I don't want it to have to come to that. I don't want to have to see like public executions of politicians or something crazy like that. But so one way is if there can be one thing that enough people can be on the same side for, that would cause big change. And then the other way that it could happen is, unfortunately, I think that would be the most peaceful way to go about it, because everything else kind of is violent. I don't want to see some sort of holy war. I don't want to see some sort of Christian versus Muslim versus Jew, you know, thing going on. If we could, so what I want to do, like my goal in trying to speak out about these things has always been to try to get people to kind of take a step back from our black mirrors that tell us these narratives. I want people to try to find their own, help people find their own authenticity, the things that they really like. And then if you can level up yourself, then you kind of, the vibe attracts the tribe kind of thing. And then you can kind of hopefully find your people and create your heaven on earth. Because religion is not the answer, because we're only here for a short amount of time. Whatever I believe happens to me with my God, and he believes what happens to him with his God, and whatever she thinks, that still is something that's outside of the present moment, the here and now. So something needs to go down where enough people can raise their eyebrows, no matter what background they're from, and say, hey, wait a second, hold on. An analogy that I've used to describe like our situation as people is like the ants in a jar. So there was this test where this guy had a big mason jar basically, and there were red and black ants coexisting in the jar. Someone took the jar, shook it up real violently, and dumped the ants out onto the table. Instead of going for the person who shook the jar, they attacked each other. So we have to find some sort of way for enough people, influential people, to, when the jar gets shook, for them to actually take a second, hold on, wait a second, what's really happening here? We both are experiencing this right now. I don't care, you're the black ant, I'm the red ant. Well, you believe what you believe, I believe what I believe. But let's figure this out. What's the actual problem? And can we find a solution?
You got to get down to the actual problem. You fucking nailed it. You got to get down to the actual problem. And I have an idea for this, and I floated this a lot. And I want we have a First Amendment, which gives you freedom of religion, right? I want an amendment that gives me freedom from religion. And the only way to stop these things is when the special privilege and the special treatment stops. So you take my area. The reason why you have hostility is people see it. People see how one group gets special privilege. People see how one group gets to act when nobody else gets to act certain ways. People see one group take over a town, and then they can't put a shed in their backyard. When you start having these things build up where you have special privilege, it creates such a divide where you're creating the hate that you claim you want to stop. How about we just stop creating hate by stop creating absolute special classes and special division? Right now in our country with the RLUIPA laws, we have a very, very big problem where religious organizations get special privilege over land use. When you have that stuff happening, it creates an animosity inside the towns. It creates the anti-Semitism that people claim exists. It didn't exist until you created it. It's like that old adage. Sometimes you don't know you have an enemy until you go looking for him and create the fucking enemy like we've been doing, right? It's a very interesting situation that's taking place. And, when we have that going on, I don't know how to get past it. I really don't, man. I don't know how to deal with people that really, truly don't want to be around you and don't like you, but claim they do at the same time. It's, it's very interesting watching this shit. So I would love freedom from religion, an amendment of the Constitution, which makes religion have to pay taxes, have to act like every other business on the fucking planet. This is a business. This is a business that brings in billions of fucking dollars, man. You have mega church motherfuckers that are worth 15, 20, 35 million dollars. That Joel Osteen's worth how many people? And he kept people out of his Texas ranch when the floods came in Texas and that hurricane ripped through it. He didn't even let people in the church. Right.
Not to mention, I think every church just pays no tax, no property tax forever. I'm pretty sure that's a thing. So it's not. We're not just picking on. When you say that freedom from religion, you're not just picking on any specific religion. You're saying that.
No, I go every single one of them. I think a church should pay taxes. I think the Christian church should pay taxes on what they bring in. Right. Pay taxes on the property tax. One of the gross things about what happens, like, take this mikveh in Manchester, for example. It's bought out by the Congregation Mikveh of Pine Lake Park, LLC, right? So it's bought out by a corporation, basically. They buy the house. They operate under a 501c3. So the house, everything's tax exempt, but they also get to depreciate the value on any taxes that they do fucking. So it's like there's so many different ways where they could manipulate the tax code by setting it up the way they do. And it's honestly, the problem is it's fucking legal and nobody addresses it. All of these laws are set up to favor certain groups of people. Every one of the programs we have are set up to be completely drained. And there's groups of people out there that know how to drain it way better than others.
So
and they
then
live a lifestyle of draining it.
maybe you just answered your own question, brother. Like you said, oh, I don't know how to go about fixing this. Well, hold on. You said that earlier. You mentioned how this Jewish community in Lakewood does have some form of tribalism where you see them, clanning up, teaming up, helping each other out to an extent, or at least working together, thinking together, moving money together. That might be the answer, but it just has to happen, not on the macro level, not based on religion. Maybe people clanning up, teaming up, whether it be family, friends, coworkers, teammates, club mates, whatever it may be. If everyone forms a group and starts investing in each other, moving their money together amongst each other, not necessarily to segregate or separate themselves from everybody else, but just to kind of propel themselves up to help themselves out of whatever pickles they might be going through. That might be the start of something good, because then if everyone figures out all these loopholes, all these ways to get around, if everyone's got their own level of Jewry or whatever you want to call it, yeah. But if everyone starts doing that, then hold on, wait a second. Now we have to maybe build a new system, because this system seems to be broken. This system seems to be completely taken advantage of.
I love your idea, and I like what that guy said to me the other day, where we need a shared sense of purpose. I think that's very important. That's why I want to start my own religion, and everything's going to be a sacrament. Everything. That way, every business could be a 501c3 dealership, right? So, so because you have to. The way I want to go about this is you have to fight the fire with the fire. So let's take what they do and amplify it to the 10th degree and make an absolute fucking mockery of it, right? So now in caltropianism, right, what you have to do is you have to maintain your car. It's a sacrament, and you have to get the oil change on time, and you have to do this on time, but you have to go to an approved caltropian oil changer. And that guy's going to operate as a 501c3. You feel what now, women, you have to take care of your hair and nails. It's essential for you as a woman. We value your beauty, and we want you to be beautiful. It's a sacrament to be beautiful. It's a blessing. God made you beautiful. God made you who you are. So you have to go out there, and every time you get your hair and nails done, 501c3, put it up in the middle of a neighborhood. Now we have nail salons in the middle of it. You feel where I'm going?
I do. Right? It's not that crazy. I mean,
dude, then what? Listen, Catholic churches, they bless everybody with wine. Now my bars, we're going to have weed and wine bars, right? Where you could smoke the weed, you blow the weed smoke on your person. You could go ahead and fucking get the sacrament of that. Every bar, right? In nomine Patri et Sancti et Spiritus Sancti. We bless every fucking thing. And now everything's a sacrament. And then, of course, they have to be within walking distance of your neighborhood, because you cannot walk back after drinking sacrament all night long. So now the bar has to be in the middle of the neighborhood, because you have to drink the sacrament, especially on Sundays when it's NFL football days, because you have to honor the NFL.
Caltropian utopia. Let's go.
Right? You feel this? You feel where I'm going with this? And once you make, I think, a biggest mockery of it, they're either going to allow absolute anarchy, or they're going to go, all right, we got to do something about this shit, right? What else are we going to do here? I don't know.
I mean, it's not even that out of the realm of possibility. There's so many loopholes. There's so many ways to get around this system that we have. So it's really not even that crazy.
This Jewish guy join, he said. Fuck yeah, Elliot. You want to join? Elliot, text me your email address, and I'll send you the link to this fucking thing. So hey, dude, so let's I guess we have to keep this going to get Elliot in here. But so what do you think? What's your verdict? So Trump's definitely bought off by the Jews. We've wrapped that up. What do you think's going to take place? What do you think's going to happen to the Gaza Strip?
Well, there's been murmurings of Gaza being one of the first 15-minute cities in the world. 15-minute city being I mean, it's pretty much a digital prison, but it's like everything you might need is within a 15-minute drive of where you're at. So you essentially don't ever need to leave where you live, and everything just, tracked and taxed, everything digital, no cash. It's like it's got beachfront property there in Gaza, so it can be. I wouldn't be surprised if the place is commercialized. If it becomes a series of casinos and beach resorts. I feel really horrible for what's going on there for the Palestinian people. That's something that has made
Can I be
me.
honest with you? I don't feel fucking horrible for him. I
I
really
don't know, man. I can't.
I really fucking don't. Listen.
Maybe I'm buying into the wrong programming. I've seen these videos have struck a chord in me, man. Maybe I'm the one being manipulated. I don't know.
Here's the deal. This is my problem, right? I know for a fact that over time, people fight. And if you lose, you fucking lose. If you can't maintain your own border, your own space, and you lose, you don't get to keep your spot. Like, who's lost battles and got to keep their wars besides any war America has fought? We're the only people that give the people back their shit. Typically, you fight a war and they take land. The losers don't get to keep their land. The losers get their wives raped. That's what fucking happened. Unfortunately, that's human nature. It's human. So the Palestinians, I don't like. Do I feel bad that women and children are being bombed? Let me say that. Yes, I think it's fucking terrible that they bombed women and children. It's horrible. But do I care about them people like overall? No, I think their ideology is fucked. I think they're in that same group of people that have a warped fucking mentality. I think they've been expelled like other groups from everywhere in the area, from Jordan to Egypt to fucking, you name it. They have kicked out Palestinians and said, get the fuck out. Yeah, so when you have and then, they voted in Hamas in 2005. Now, say they did or not, say it's whatever it is. There's a group of people that want that type of shit. They are, and they call it ignorance, call it whatever you want. I don't care. I would be fake saying I gave a shit about them. I don't want the kids to be bombed, and I don't want the women to be bombed. But the face facts, man, the kids are going to grow up to be bombers if that's the case.
I mean, I'm an America first kind of guy. I can't sympathize or empathize with people halfway across the world when we have our own shit going on here. And history is his story. Who is he? He's the guy who won. So that's been playing out for God knows how long. But you asked me what do I think the future of Gaza will be? I think for as long as they can, the whole situation with Israel and Palestine will be for each side to play the sympathy card to be able to get, certain favor from different countries and mainly us, but and eventually, I think that place is going to be a big resort casino area, unfortunately.
Let's see. Now we got Elliot coming back. Let's see. He posted in the chat. Can this Jewish guy join in? So let's bring him in. Let's put the Jew in the middle. Let's put the big Jew in the middle. Elliot Shemtov, welcome to the Caltrop. How you doing, sir?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Doing great, bro. So listen, you've been watching this entire time. You've been commenting on YouTube. I really appreciate you watching. What you think? Give me your overall thoughts about our discussion so far.
Dude, I'm with you, man. We see eye to eye on this. I'm a Jewish guy, but I'm a very non-religious Jewish guy. Interestingly enough, as I told you in the past, most of my family resides in Israel, so I have a very unique perspective on the whole thing. But touching real quick back on the religion, right? I'm running for mayor of Jackson Township with Chris Pollock. Chris is running to defend his council seat. I'm running against Jennifer Kuhn, who's the current, appointed mayor of the town. And it's an interesting situation, right? We have a tremendous Jewish community now, Orthodox community, regular community. I'm running things down the middle. To go back to your initial point, I do not believe in church and state. I think it completely should be separated. You have to be fair, right? you can't be fair to one group of people. You can't be unfair to other people. You have to run it down the middle, man. Community's not about segregated groups. Community is about, we're talking about Jackson, that's the community. Everybody in Jackson. I don't care if you're white, black, Muslim, Chinese, Jewish, whatever. You got to do what's right for the people. You got to do what's right for your neighbor, because the problem is when you start doing special things for special people, you piss everybody else off. And to your point, that's when you perpetuate the racism, the anti-Semitism, and it hurts me. I don't want to see people saying anti-Semitic things. I'm still a Jewish guy, right?
No.
And it hurts. You know, I see that. I see people say things, but I kind of get where it's coming from. I understand the anger. I understand the pain. And it's funny because some people have said, I don't want a Jewish guy as the mayor. But I think you need me. You need someone like me who thinks like me, that thinks in common sense patterns and terminologies like you guys, that you need someone to get into this community and sit down with both sides and say, look, this shit has to end. I don't want to see one group that doesn't want to wave or say hello to the other group and another group, pardon my French, motherfucking the other group because they want to put temples and neighborhoods and mikvahs and all that. Look, I get the customs. I get the traditions. Like I said, for the 10th time, I'm Jewish. I get it. But everyone has to live in peace and harmony. How do you do it? You wipe it all out. No more special customs for anyone. Everybody lives the same fucking way. That's it. And you know what? I think at the end of the day, a lot of people will be angry in the very beginning. But in the end, I think everybody lives in peace and harmony. I'm going to shut up for a couple minutes now.
No, I think you're right, though. I think it brings, listen, it brings people to where there's always going to be jealousy and things like that, but let that be the thing. Let's not create the hate that we claim. You know, it's like the bullying type shit. They say, oh, you have to stop bullying. Well, the more anti-bullying campaigns that we have, the more bullying you get. Only it goes online and it goes all these other places. So none of it makes any sense. But Elliot, let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's get away from. Let's take on the Trump is controlled by Israel. Now we had Rickpedia, dude. I love his thought there. Let's talk Israel as the stakes. I know we disagreed a little bit on that. Do you think Trump is bought and paid for by Israel? I think he's controlled by Bibi Netanyahu and Israel.
I don't know. I got to be honest with you. I don't know. I'm not the biggest Bibi Netanyahu fan. I know he's had a lot of his own issues in Israel with some corruption and stuff that he's done. I used to be, Netanyahu's been around for like 30 years, right? He's in like his second or third term now. I got to be honest with you. I don't know. It's funny, but when you go back to Trump term 1, he was a Nazi. He was a Jew hater. All of a sudden now, Trump's like the Jews are darlings to him. I got to be honest with you. I just don't know. I mean, and again, I was texting in the chat. It's interesting because Trump's trying to wipe out Iran would be the greatest thing. They're absolute pricks in the Middle East. They just want to dominate everyone. They want to screw with us. They want to screw with Israel. They want to screw with Iraq, everybody. They want to just perpetuate terrorism, which I'm completely against. And at the same time, I was writing in the chat, you get rid of Iran, you get rid of Hezbollah, you get rid of Hamas, you get rid of all that. I'd love to see what the Palestinian people do standing on their own 2 feet, right? Getting some good leadership in there. Maybe, just maybe, you'll see peace in the Middle East. You'll see the Palestinians and the Jews getting along, cats and dogs living together, the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe that's the ticket. I don't know, bro. I'm focusing on Jackson right now. I haven't tackled world peace yet.
Let's bring in Rickpedia on that one. Rickpedia, what do you think there is a chance in fuck that there's going to be peace ever in the Middle East?
I'm gonna say no, because Mossad is too hooked up, man. Like these 3 little organizations, these secret organizations, like. They might have even, I don't know the history, but like how the CIA founded or has ties to the founding of the Taliban. Maybe Mossad is involved in founding a Hamas, and maybe their existence, just their sheer existence.
That's not up in the air anymore. That's answered. Bibi Netanyahu.
Well, there you go.
They got them.
So then it will never go away. It will never go away because their existence perpetuates the war machine, it also perpetuates the need for them to be the combatant to the big bad evil adversary. So
It's the same thing we did. How many people have we funded? We funded Osama bin Laden, and then all of a sudden we started fighting against them. You take it
Oh,
back.
bro, it goes. Let me just jump in for 1 sec.
Yeah, fire away.
So I got a master's degree in cyber and homeland security, and I'll tell you, one of the greatest stories I ever heard was during the Afghan war with the Soviets. Right, so the Soviets, they pretty much thought in the 80s that the Soviets would take over. What did the CIA do? Okay, Reagan actually went back, connected up with Osama bin Laden, who was a CIA paid guy. They went into Afghanistan, and the CIA said, look, you have to make the schools as radical as you can. This way, when the Soviets come in like they did in Cuba, they're going to try to take over the schools for education, healthcare, everything. This way, everybody falls under that one communist way of thinking. So they radicalized everything. So fast forward to the end of the Afghan war, the Soviets are kicked out, right? Everybody did their job. And now the schools are radicalized. The kids are growing up. Wahhabism, radical Muslimism is at an all-time high. We perpetuated that. And then just a few years later, you had the USS Cole, you had World Trade Center bombing 1. We stayed behind to kind of keep the peace in the Middle East. They turned on us. So look, sometimes the monster that you see is the monster you created.
100%. And we've created almost everybody we've ever fought. You name it. It's really, we've meddled and meddled and meddled, and then meddled some more, and then meddled some more. And you see it. It's a micro of the macro, right? You see the meddling everywhere. I saw the meddling today in all this. Let me ask you this, Elliot, really quick. If I went back to any of these stores without the camera, without Tyler, and just walked in to shop, do you think I'd be welcome?
I don't know. Again, this is going to sound kind of crazy, but like I said, as a Jewish guy I don't keep kosher. I'm not religious at all. Matter of fact, I'm a Christian. I follow Jesus Christ. I don't know if I look Jewish or not. Maybe I think I do. My nose is a little bit. I don't
too
wear
much muscle on you to be that.
Yeah, way too much muscle for a traditional Jewish guy, right? Too big of arms, I guess.
You're over
maybe
165 fucking pounds.
Yeah,
dude.
bro. I'm 215. I'm like 5 foot nothing, 215, right? I've never gotten any kind of dirty looks or anything. A couple of people kind of look over and be like, "Hey, that guy either like left his yarmulke home or fell off or something." But I don't know, man. I walked into Gourmet Glot because Chris's karate studio is right next door.
Okay.
So one day I went in to go visit Chris, and then I went over. I was like, I told my wife, I'm like, let's go check out Gourmet Glot real quick. Go pick up some apple butter or something. And it's really nice inside, And there were some non-Jewish people walking around. All the employees were like Mexican or Ecuadorian or something. So there wasn't like that many Jewish people working there. But look, man, I don't know. My message once I get in as mayor next year, and I will win this election, is inclusivity. If you're a Jewish store owner, look, capitalism, right? You want money. There's only 9 or 10,000 Jewish folks in Jackson. There's 66,000 people here. Open up your stores to everyone. Be inclusive. Be friendly. They're never gonna open on Saturday. That I can tell you. You're never gonna break that. It's culture, right? They're never gonna break that culture. But at the end of the day, look, man, baby steps, right? Try to get folks just to be nice to other people, be inclusive, and that's it. That's all you can do. That's all you can do.
Yeah, true.
Golden rule.
That's it.
What's that?
I said golden rule, man, because I've taken my my daughter to the playgrounds around like Toms River, Brick, Manchester area, and I'm like, one of the things that I enjoy is trying to be able to like get along with someone, try to break the ice with them, and I've noticed that people from different races, religions, whatever, would be more hesitant to make the first move in like a conversation or something. But I always try to find the common ground and make the conversation. I have never had a problem with Jewish families, interacting with them, watching our kids play together at the playgrounds and everything like that. I think if you can bring things back to a baseline, to your point, Elliot, that if people can just kind of just try to spread the goodwill, just try to be inclusive, then hopefully that, emanates beyond just the interpersonal reaction, communication that you're going through in that moment.
Mm-hmm. Rick, you know what? You're spot on, brother. And it's interesting too. I found that, like, I live in a pretty progressive neighborhood. It's a really nice part of Jackson, bigger homes, whatever. And like 60% of my neighborhood now is Orthodox Jewish, but young. I'd say they're all like 26, 27. But like, you see the women, the girls are walking around like Prada shoes, Gucci bags, eyebrows done, yeah, I mean, just very progressive people. And like, I'll be
Sounds
outside.
hot, bro. They sound hot.
A lot of them are, yeah. A lot of those women are very, very attractive. And bro, I got to tell you, like, my wife, clearly you can tell she's not Jewish, right? She's Irish, Italian, short, blonde, makeup, the whole 9 yards. They'll stop by, they'll talk to us, they'll chat out to invite us over for dinner, stuff like that. They're awesome. Like, they're really nice people. Nobody's a dick. Nobody's shitty. Everybody's really homely, like nice, very neighborhoodish. And I got no complaints. And, I see other parts of town similar. And then, of course, when you get into the more Orthodox, like really Orthodox, severe, very religious Hasidim and all that, those are the folks that are just kind of like, they're just into their own community. I'm more shunned than you guys would be, So look, what are you going to do, right? It's like anything else. You have different groups within the groups, and the dynamic is very, very diverse in Jackson, much more so than Lakewood, I think.
Yeah, I think you guys have a lot going on, man. We were just out there. The synagogues in houses. I mean, I think that stuff needs to stop. It's just, there were so many different things that were taking place that when you drive through it, it's like it gets very crazy. But listen, I had a question in my head that I was going to ask both of you. And I really don't even remember it.
Can I just tie something in with
fire away.
Finishing my thought from before, because we were talking about like, will ever be peace in the Middle East or whatever it may be, and Elliot joked about world peace. The only thing that I could see happening to bring us to a place of common unity, community on a bigger scale, is exposure and disclosure of. We're talking about CIA and Mossad and KGB and these different societies being, or different organizations being propped up, and people can theorize about what's really happening behind the curtain and who's really pulling the strings. But if we can actually come to a state of knowing about secret societies coming to light, I think that would open people's eyes very much. That's a crazy thought, because it's how would that ever happen? But if more people would actually know things instead of just like thinking about or wondering about things, and then maybe we can actually come together.
Isn't it crazy though, in the world that we have all the information at the tip of our fingers? It's the hardest time, I think, ever to know anything. Because right now we don't know what the fuck's true. We don't even know if a video is true. We had a senator stand up and put an AI image of that idiot that got shot by ICE with a headless dude. It was an AI edited image, and it was a headless guy, and it's in Congress, and these people are using it like it means something, like it's real. They're not even vetting their own stuff. They don't even know what the hell is real. They're so old, they don't even know how to keep up with AI technology. They see headless agents, and they think, okay, yeah, that's fucking normal.
I know what you're talking about. The other guy, there was another soldier on the right, and he reached down and his hand warped and his fingers like flipped up backwards. And the AI is kind of out of control.
It was Dick Durbin had that picture. It's a picture of the dude on all fours with a gun to the top of his head. There's a person here and a person here. Well, the person that was kneeling, wrestling with him, doesn't have a head.
Yeah, and if you look at that guy's foot, it looks like a camera.
Yeah,
It doesn't look like a foot.
It's an AI edited image. But
Yeah.
I mean, dude, you have deep fakes. You have people that I see Donald Trump talking as Easy E every other fucking day, and it's hysterical.
Dude, I just saw a video on Instagram or TikTok, one of the two. It was the guy Preddy and the woman who got killed, Good, whatever her name was.
Mhm.
They were like talking to each other about how they both screwed up and now they're dead. I mean, it sounded and looked like it was totally real. It was scary. I'm like, now, if you didn't know any better, if like you just a kid flipping through Instagram, you'd be like, Mom, these people, they knew about this beforehand and they're talking about it because it looks so real. So like AI is as much as like AI is great for like ChatGPT and Grok and all that other Gemini, whatever, like in the near future, and I mean like next year, it's going to be a problem in this country. It's going to really be a big problem.
You know what? I don't know if it's. I'm getting less. I don't think they're going to be growing as fast as everyone's predicting. They seem like they're slowing down,
You
right?
mean the AI
I mean,
stuff?
this AI stuff. It
Bro,
seems like
no.
when you look at these Grok things, they're getting stronger, but they like from 1 to 2, it was exponential. From 2 to 3, it was exponential. From 3 to 4, it's like 25%. They're not getting like you have to really tap into getting into artificial general intelligence and not just language learning models. And I don't know if they're there yet, bro.
Have you seen the
I think they're
Terminator?
5 years away. No, listen, I think they could get there. I didn't say they're not going to get there.
Mike, let
I
me
don't
tell
think
you
it's going to
something.
escalate as fast as everyone thinks it's going
I'm in technology. So I work for a CCTV camera company, one of the most prominent ones in the world. And Edge AI, which is AI generated at the surveillance camera, like to look at slip and fall and line crossing and all that stuff. It's at a whole nother level now for like gun detection, everything else. The stuff that they can do on a miniature chip in a camera is wild. And what they've already started creating that hasn't been released yet is even more wild. So, like, everything you see today is already old technology, bro. They're going to have it's there. It just hasn't been released yet. I'm telling you, Google is working on all of these new algorithms. By the end of the year, you're going to see shit that blows your mind.
but it's not going to be artificial general intelligence, right?
So
What
you're
you do is
talking about
they're able to take in and process a lot of information very, very, very fast, right? But they're not able to generate information and generate intelligence.
so you're
Like they're
talking about
slower.
nano neural nets. Nano neural nets, that's self-thinking AI.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that exists. That's third generational AI. It exists already. Now the question is how much and how smart, how many layers can you go, right? And it's all gonna work off quantum chip technology, which is already being built right now. So the processors are there. It's really just the power and keeping it cool for the hardware. And they're working on that now. I'm telling you, technology is exponential, brother. It is going to be a boom going into 2027.
So what? So you think it's going to replace everybody?
No,
I think I think the Chat GPTs and those are there. What's the point of them getting much better?
bro,
The way
look at
people use them. What's the point of it? No, people use them as some use them as like a dating fucking app. They talk to them like it's a companion.
yeah,
The regular
I
human's
mean,
not using it for what it's going to be, what it's even capable of doing.
but look now what's going on with Amazon and UPS and all these other major companies. They're cutting, slashing thousands of jobs,
Oh
right?
yeah.
We're going through the same kind of boom that the auto industry went through 35 years ago, right? When they started automating with robot lines and everything, they took people off the lines. You're going through that whole new revolution of intelligence where people are going to have an evolution of getting retrained into other fields, coding, whatever the case may be. But you're going to go through this big changeover where computers are going to take over a lot of these tasks.
Like
Salespeople,
coding. I think every coder is going to be at everybody that
no
went to
more coding.
school for coding. You're
Yeah.
going to completely get taken away by this AI, right, Rick?
Totally.
Oh, you guys are touching on something that makes me nervous, man, because this is what I follow here. This is like the people becoming useless eaters. They get put on universal income. Everything becomes digital, completely operated and orchestrated by the AI, which I believe is a manifestation of demons. We'll get into that another time. But it's like if we do not individually wake up and level up like ourselves and start finding groups, then you are going to be replaced. You are going to be inferior to a computer. Not every job, not every person, but like a lot of people are going to be replaceable in the eyes of the capitalistic money machine.
Yeah, so let's do this, because this is going to open up a whole nother fucking hour and a half long conversation, and we've been ripping along for an hour and 15 minutes already. So let's do this. Final thoughts. Elliot, tell everybody basically anything about yourself. Any final thoughts? Give it to me 30 seconds, bro, wherever you want to go with it.
Final thoughts. I'm going to bring it back to the campaign. I'll take this time to plug myself and plug the Fight for Jackson team. So right now consists of myself, Chris Pollock. We have a third person who hasn't announced yet. They're going to run for the second seat. We're looking to gain.
Sounds hot.
Yeah, she is definitely. It's very attractive. So we're looking to gain super control. Rick, I don't know if you've ever followed Jackson politics. It's been a mess for 20 years. It's been a big mess. As of recent, it's been a bigger mess. The town needs a lot of cleaning up. It needs a flush. It needs, literally, as I like to say, the toilet needs to get flushed. It needs people that are not politicians, that are not connected to big money, that are not connected to developers and all that other jazz. There's just too much shit in the toilet right now. And by us coming in here, we're going to change it. We're going to run things right down the middle. We're going to do what's good for the residents. And we're going to give the town back to the people at the end of the day. That's pretty much it, man. That's what I'm here to do. I'm a businessman, never been in politics. Like I said, I'm agnostic with just about everything. I just believe in doing the right thing for the general masses. And Chris did that in the last election. We won by a landslide. We plan to do it again this time. So just proper governing, what a concept, right? Actually, people that come in and really give a shit about the people and try to just give them back what their taxes are paying for. So really, that's pretty much it. No other interest on that side other than, be fan favorites for the people of Jackson and just try to do the best for them.
And check out the Fight for Jackson page. Follow it. The more people sharing that stuff, the better, right? So they can follow you, Fight for Jackson, on Facebook, right?
Fight for Jackson, and then they can also check out my page as well, which is Elliot for Mayor, and that's on Facebook. I'll probably launch my Facebook page. It'll most likely be elliottformayor.com or elliottformayorinjackson.com, and that'll be probably in the next 2 to 5 weeks. So, yeah, I mean, it's early in the cycle, but there's already a lot of action here with the lawsuits and everything going on in Jackson.
Yeah.
Police chief getting bumped out. We have a new police chief who's fantastic. She starts February 1st, and a lot of drama, right? I think you could probably build a Netflix miniseries off what's going on in Jackson from the last year going into this year.
Yeah, you were not bullshitting. Rick, fire away, brother.
Dude, Elliot, you seem like a solid dude, not just in your muscles. So I wish you all the best. I hope that you win.
Thanks, Rick.
Mike, what you have going on here is what we need. We need people to talk about things. We need people to not be scared to express themselves and find others who might combat to try to find that common ground. The whole reason why I want to do what I want to do and launch my little Wikipedia channel is because I think I've identified some solutions for a lot of common problems. I think it's easier than we realize. And for too long, we've been giving our power away and just saying, oh, it is what it is. Well, what can little old me do about it? A whole fucking lot. Okay. If you level yourself up and if you find like-minded individuals that can propel each other up, this world ain't dead yet. So.
Exactly. It's not dead yet. And one of the things that pisses me off, bro, are the people that say it's over. You hear that a lot in my area, especially Elliot's area. Oh, this Jackson's done. Brick's done. America's over with. This country's done. That type of conversation really, really bothers me. There's something you said that I really love is solutions. And I think that's what I like about you, bro. The first thing you said was, I think I have solutions. And it's the last thing you said here. First thing you said to me in a conversation is, I want to do what I want to do because I think I found solutions. And they're simple solutions. And one of the things I really like about Elliot is I think he has solutions as well, right? And I think he's solutions oriented. And we need solutions. We need people not to bitch, but to actually take in and bring real solutions to the table. And listen, I tell everybody all the time, you have to be a caltrop in your own mind. And a caltrop is your defense mechanism. It's your defense mechanism from that. Okay? It's your defense from all of the lies that are being told to you, and all of the division, and all of the fear mongering, and all of the bitching that people do. And they get you in this frenzy, and you start focusing on the frenzy, and you stop looking at the fucking solutions. So if you want to be a caltrop in your own mind, stop falling for the bullshit and start asking questions and seeking solutions. That's the only way that we ever get better. And what you said is we have to have the honest, hard conversations. The only way you get to real solutions is by identifying real problems. And
Can I say, can I give you one last thing, Mike?
One last thing, bro.
One last thing. When you have conversation like this, me, you, and Rick right now, that's how you fix problems. When people talk and they talk it out, I think just about anyone, any group can come to common solutions. If everybody the problem is when people stop talking, that's when stuff gets fucked up.
100%, bro. And we have to stop creating hate and start creating way more conversation. That's how you be a caltrop, guys. The way you are a caltrop is by defending your own brain from this type of bullshit. Thank you guys very much. Remember, finger the fuck out of my like button. My like button loves to be fingered. So does my share button. Finger that share button just a tip. Remember, hit it. Share this. The best thing you can do for me, best thing you do for Elliot, and the best thing you do for Rickpedia when he gets his pages all up is share our stuff. When you share it, you comment, you have engagement, you're going to help us grow. We really appreciate it. Let's get a caltrop fucking army and really make a difference, because one thing that's very clear to me, when we are a solitary mass pulling in the same direction, we will get things accomplished. It can be done. Caltrops can make it happen. This caltrop is out. Later.